It's January 14th, 2026, and I'm here in Sioux Falls and approaching, I think the airport's down this way, and there should be an aviation museum. I don't even know the name of it, but I noticed it mentioned on a Google search, and I'm just following the address that was there to see what I can see. Don't know if it's a little one, a big one.
Turn right onto Expedition Court.
Okay. I see a sign saying museum.
Now turn right.
Once I cross the train tracks here, I'm sort of in an industrial park.
After a quarter of a mile, you will reach your destination.
Alright, I see a plane. Doesn't look like it's a very big place. But I do see a few airplanes out there. Welcome to the Mid-America Museum of Aviation and Transportation. So there's the building. I don't know if the place is open or not. I don't see any cars here. But their website, or the website I looked at, says they're open, or should be open. I didn't actually go to their website, assuming they have one. There's a little sign that says open, okay. So I maybe incorrectly said Sioux Falls. It's actually Sioux City, Iowa. They don't have enough aviation artifacts to fill up the entire building at this time, so they have some cars and other transportation related items on display. What do we have here? A Roadster fact sheet. Just for fun, 1928 Chevy head with overhead valves, Ross racing pistons, etc. (1916) Studebaker touring car. There's a lot of small exhibits behind display cases. I talked to the director here, and he said, depending how deeply you dive into the exhibits, you could spend from 20 minutes to 5 hours. My visit's going to be on the short side, but I'll try to do at least an overview. This is a Moni motor glider, or Moni motor glider. I'm not sure which pronunciation. So it's a glider, but it has a motor. I love these old things, these old, like 1920s steel toys. Trembler coil, buzz coil, vibrator coil. I have a type of high voltage ignition coil used in early automobiles. I have one of those somewhere at home. Oh, these are great. I have to start hitting the antique stores and see if I can find one of these things. These ones just like this are great. Army Scout toy plane from the 1930s. An old steam shovel, Buddy L Toy Steam Shovel. What do we have here? It's a Newport 11. Or it's patterned after it, I'm not sure which. Okay, this is not an original. It was made by somebody in Sioux City, Iowa. Patterned after a Newport 11, apparently. It does look on the small side to be an original. Yeah, it's mostly cars over here. I can't quite make out the 1999 Corvette, I think is what it said the year was. 1971 Camaro. A Jeepster. Willys Overland Jeepster, 1949. This one is not identified. I guess that's a Mustang. Yeah, it's a Mustang. A 1956 Ford Fairlane, Peggy Sue. (1948) Lincoln Continental Coupe. Most of these cars are on loan from their owners. Dale Naif's car, Plymouth, 1950 Mercury convertible. So it looks like most of these cars are part of individuals' private collections that are just here on loan. Looks like an old horse-drawn hearse. Sayers and Scoville hearse from about 1900. This is an old grader, horse-drawn grader. And your basic horse-drawn buggy. Dawn of Aviation display in pictures mostly. A lot of things on the Hindenburg right here. Looks like a balloon basket. I don't see any signage on it. Quite a few photographic displays here. I don't have time to read them all. This is a display that seems to have something to do with Claire Chenault. Uniforms, helmets, hats, all different periods of time, Civil War and later. Colonel William Fetter Cap. Cap? What's that mean? I'm not familiar with that term. As a military designation anyway. Plus the map for the high-level attack and various tail decorations. Some nice display cases here. A map of the Ploesti, or however that's pronounced, in Romania, petroleum refining facility that was heavily bombed by the Allies during World War II. Nice display of uniform jackets up there. Some radio equipment. Definitely the kind of thing that if a person has the time and is passing by this area, worth stopping in. Looks like an RC airplane version of the B-29. It looks like this is something that, yeah, it has glow engines on it. Looks like another RC airplane, although much bigger one, or at least a larger scale. Military cots. This looks like the nacelle from a B-29. Is that the B-29 or is that the B-50 that's got the air scoop below it? This is maybe a B-50. Model of a B-36. Okay, this engine nacelle and engine here is off of a Boeing KC-97 Stratofreighter. Which was more or less based on the B-50, which was in turn a newer version of the B-29 with many, many improvements. That's kind of nice. This is a J-57 jet engine and a McCulloch World War II two-cycle drone engine. This one is not provided with any signage saying what it is. An almost perfect landing. Yeah. This jet engine is on loan from the National Museum of Naval Aviation in Pensacola, Florida. Pair of airline seats. And looks like flight engineer type of consoles from various planes. Doesn't have any signage, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Looks like it. Oh, there's a sign here saying something about Boeing 727. At least this panel here was apparently off of a 727. I'm not sure about that one. What does it say here? Yeah, the picture doesn't match the exhibit, so that's something else. They've got the front end of a Boeing 727-100 here. Former United with the air stairs. Too bad you can't go in it. A bunch of control wheels from various planes. DC-7, first officer's control wheel from something. Oh, from a Convair 880. From a DC-9. From a DC-6. From a B-52. From a Martin 404. A C-46 Commando, that's a Curtiss. 707 control wheel. These appear to be like Apollo terminal. Oh, it's not like the Apollo NASA mission. I think this is a reservationist thing that, you know, the reservation people might be using. Doesn't seem to say. Well, that's a nice exhibit. I like the fact that it's lit up. It doesn't seem to say what airplane this is from. This is obviously the cockpit control panel from something. Rose Global Television Festival, Best TV Series, Pan Am. Maybe this is a panel they used for filming that TV show. I've never heard of it. Some different things, a power supply, a couple power supplies, and so on. Part of a fuselage of a small airplane, and let's see, some more things that are not aviation related but are cool nonetheless. It says Hawkeye on it. C&H Truck Parts, South Sioux City. Gotta love this with the rough wooden seat and everything. Yeah, it's just a Hawkeye. Hawkeye Truck Company, Sioux City, USA. Looks like a tow truck. Great big wheels with wooden spokes. (1971) Ford Thunderbird Landau. Back in the days when you could almost stand next to the engine and work on it. Okay, what is this thing? Globe Swift, also known as the Globe Temco Swift, a light two-seat sport monoplane from the post-World War II period. Ed Anderson Clean Eddie. As pictured in Popular Mechanics. Basically a Harley tricked out. Challenger 2. What is that? Okay, I guess that is this, but the picture of the pilot doesn't seem to be from the same airplane. Looks like a aquatic type craft. This is a Commander, Aero Commander 200. I didn't see any signage for that plane up there. It does seem to be an ultralight. Well, I'm sure it's an ultralight, but I don't know what kind. No engine on this. Guess it's just a glider. Two-seater. A Jacobs R755-9 radial engine from about when? 1933. A Lycoming 0540. And an inertial measurement unit from something, from a Thor intermediate ballistic missile. Look at that thing. That is one sturdy little cart. A graphite. All graphite. Most of the instruments have been taken out. Whole bunch of models over here. Could spend some time studying those. Everything from plastic models to scratch builts to RC planes and U-control planes, free flight planes it looks like. Balsa wood and on up. What do we have here? Has a picture of that plane on this plane, so I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't see any signage for this. There's another plane that doesn't go with this plane. Looks like somebody built this for their kid. Here's an experimental helicopter. The Sparrowhawk gyroplane. Okay, so it's a gyroplane, not a helicopter. And I should have noticed that right off because there's no drive shaft for the rotor. Looks like radar equipment and flight data recorder stuff maybe, or a means to play back roll film and study it with a microscope. Most of this stuff is not identified. Has a Heathkit tube tester. An Army ambulance. 1.25-ton military truck in its ambulance configuration. Here we have a UH-1M Iroquois, otherwise known as a Huey.
Today you have Delta Group, or Project Delta was out with what we did, and it was long-range recon patrol. We flew at the time top secret missions along the Laos and Cambodian border. The Special Forces, we developed the tactics. The main aircraft, sometimes 5 aircraft, started flying.
A couple of big old antennas on this Jeep.
Jump off the aircraft, disappear in the jungle. By the time you came home, you could fire a rocket just about into a number 10 can. It was very, very accurate and very good. The minigun was fired from the co-pilot side, the left side. The crew chief would be on the right-hand side behind the pilot in command, and the full gunner would be on the left side.
There's a special gallery here for the United Airlines Flight 232, which was a nonstop from Denver to Chicago. This one famously crashed at the airport here. So all sorts of memorabilia and artifacts from that. And there's a nicely done model of a DC-10 with a cutaway side. Some of the wounded people coming off the plane. Quite a few people did survive it, but many people died as well. Mostly these things are not identified to put them in context, but they have all something to do with that situation. So there's a bit of a timeline here. The 3:16 p.m. United Flight 232 en route to Chicago. Captain Al Haynes radios to Minneapolis that number 2, which is the rear central engine by the tail, has exploded. He has no hydraulic systems for control. Responsibility, plane surveillance is handed over to Sioux City Tower. He says he has no ability to make left turns and can steer only by alternate thrusts of the 2 wing-mounted engines. He has no brakes and will order passengers out of the aircraft, whether ground personnel are near or not. At 3:40, mass casualty plans are set in motion. Things are put in place. Flight 232 is 15 miles northeast of Sioux City and descending. Pilot tells tower to keep plane away from the city. At nearly 4 o'clock, they say we've got the plane in sight, and the captain says he has the runway in sight. At 4 o'clock, the right wing of the DC-10 dips catches in rain-softened earth, and the craft cartwheels erupting in flames and smoke. Rescue personnel land in their helicopter next to the plane, finding people walking away apparently unhurt. Hospital continue preparations with staff arriving at pre-arranged points. First of 88 patients arrive at the local health center. Then other patients arrive in waves. First of 108 patients arrives at St. Luke's Hospital. By 4:42, which is 41 minutes after the crash. All of the seriously injured were triaged and had arrived in hospitals. 7 people die in the emergency room, in operating rooms, or in intensive care during the first 6 hours. 1 dies 2 days later. Last of critically injured arrive at St. Luke's. 1 patient dies shortly after arrival, another dies after surgery. All survivors have been transported to other airports. Some scorched and damaged tickets, magazine articles, flight data recorders. I'm not sure if they're the original ones or just representative types. Newspaper articles showing the damage path on the runways. They made a movie about this, which has about 3 different titles, which tells the story pretty well. Show how the fuselage broke up into 3 pieces. Some people just got flung right out of it and landed in the cornfield, as I recall. List of people who passed away from that crash. Nice little museum. A lot of interesting things here. Nothing that's going to require a long visit unless you're just really into the details. But still, a worthwhile visit, I think. And there is no entry fee. You can pay a donation, but you don't have to. .727 sitting out here in the grass with an air conditioner hooked up to it. The door did not seem to be open that would allow access to this, so I guess it's not available, but it looks like it is set up to be, you know, accessed sometimes at least. Nice when you're the only car here. I have the whole place to myself. Yeah, I was correct. This is right on the edge of the airport. There's some other hangars and planes over there. And there's a plane I hadn't seen before until I got over here. Oh yeah, there's more than just the ones I realized. Keep going back and there's more. A lot of rubble out here. You gotta watch your footing, make sure you don't step on something sharp. This actually looks like it was part of a parking ramp or a taxiway or something at one point, but it's not part of the fenced-in area now, and it's obviously broken up and everything. So I'm not sure what this is. It looks like one of the Fairchild planes, but a lot of weird stuff has been done with it. It has the little jet pods on it, and I can never remember the model numbers of all of these. Maybe, is that a packet? I don't remember for sure. This is one that you don't see every day. look it up. British design for sure. Royal Air I can't make it out. Too much of it's eroded. Now there's signage out here indicating this is a Flight 232 memorial, but the plane is not one that's associated with Flight 232. So it's a little confusing. Almost looks like you can go up and look inside. Let's see what we have. Is it totally closed off? Yeah. The 727s did have, at least as an option, these built-in rear air stairs. They could load the plane with that if they were in a place that didn't have a normal jetway or for other reasons.